and that it just keeps gaining ground in national polls, because when somebody looks at the actual evidence, it is overwhelming that there's a massive cover-up and he's ineligible just on the Indonesian citizenship and name issue. And that's why they've got all of his college records so sealed. And so his approval rating's gone from 85% down to 40. He's got the lowest approval rating of any president this far into their situation. But then there's the issue you raised years ago on this show. He's compromised. The establishment knows he's Indonesian citizen, bare minimum, almost certainly born in Kenya, Kenyan citizen born. They know that. So imagine how they're able to blackmail him with this information.
Oh, I definitely think he's blackmailed. I think that's why most of the speeches he gives are on teleprompter. He's reading them. He's great to deliver a speech off a teleprompter, not as good elsewhere, but he's told what to say. And I think our whole country is in jeopardy because of it. This health care bill is blatantly, as far as I'm concerned, unconstitutional, and many other things he's doing. And that's why, and through your help, we had scheduled, if you recall, a march back Memorial Day. We had to cancel that for certain reasons. Excuse me, we haven't rescheduled yet, but looks like we're going to have it in October, getting near election time, because I think people's interest will be up.
Why did you have to reschedule?
Well, because more and more, several groups want to join in with me, and we didn't have enough time to plan it right. I want to have this march, since we're working on a date now for October, and I want it to be the largest march in Washington, D.C. history, because this affront to our U.S. Constitution is the biggest hoax against the Constitution, against our country, against our citizens in 234 years since our Constitution came into effect. You know, the comparison has to be for people out there that question Arnold Schwarzenegger. People have talked to him for 10, 15 years about running for president, and he constantly says, amend the Constitution. I was born in Austria.
Amend the Constitution.
Right.
I was born. He could just change his name, though, to like Billy Bob and say, I am born in California.
He could run on the Obama theory from now on. Obama is destroying the Constitution. Obama has basically said, I don't care about the Constitution. He's basically walking all over the Constitution.
It is a conspiracy theory that I was born in Austria. I was born in California.
Right. How about Obama when he was, I think, back in the spring of 2008, when everyone else was saluting the flag, and he was standing there with his arm down the side. How about when he would never wear an American flag lapel pin? You know, he's changed that. And then the biggest thing, as far as I'm concerned, he goes around the world apologizing for the United States. Then he bows down to the Saudi king. He bows down to the Japanese emperor. He bows down to the
and then they lie
China.
each time and say that he's dropped something. I mean, he just, Your Majesty, you're so great. And they're like, he was picking up something.
Yeah, he was picking up. You know, but just what he has done has destroyed the image of the United States around the world.
Your Majesty. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, and that's why, as soon as we get a date here, I'm going to be back on your show, and we're going to ask people to come, because this is the biggest. I don't care what your issue is with Obama. But think about it. If your issue is taxation, if your issue is education, if your issue is medical, whatever your issue is, it all falls back, and then I'm appealing in a way to all the Tea Party people. You have different issues out there, but the main controlling issue is the fact he's a usurper, he's a phony, he's a fraud, he's an imposter. If I am right, and I know I am, if the courts won't handle this, we, the American people, getting together can demand, and if we can bring in 1 to 2 million people to Washington, D.C., and we can have them there and bring a copy of your birth certificate, and everyone hold over their head their copy, the national media will have to cover this, and I really believe we can force Obama out of office, because once the American people stand firm. See, I believe that not enough American public knows about this, because remember, you need a real live birth certificate to register your child for Little League.
Well, I mean, listen. If he had it, he would have released it. He's been very suspicious about this. But regardless, let's say we're wrong and he was born in Hawaii, which the evidence shows is not the case. He's born in Kenya. His real name is Barry Soetoro. He is an Indonesian citizen and went to an Islamic school. And I'm not saying it's bad that he went to Islamic school. The point is the guy is as phony as a $3 bill who he says he is. His name is Barry Soetoro. Barry Soetoro. We've got him. That guy's an imposter. Phil Berg, you're right. Final segment. Stay with us. Grim tidings from the Netherlands. Prince Bernhard's grandchildren continue Bilderberg legacy. Key report up there. Also, Google and CIA plowed through millions into huge record the future monitoring project. Steve Watson's got this article, and it's up at gcnlive.com. Again, here's another one. Google and CIA fund political pre-crime technology. Kurt Nimmo, also at gcnlive.com, and all this is also at infowars.com. And another big report that Rob Dew wrote, WorldNet Daily Writer says fluoride is good for you, an open letter to the writer. It's very well documented. If you want a lot of key fluoride facts, that's all at gcnlive.com. Going back to attorney Phil Berg, also former deputy attorney general in Pennsylvania, really the first guy to credibly go after Obama on the birth certificate and the Indonesia issues. We've got about 3-4 minutes left. Any other key developments? What do you think about states moving to pass laws to force him to give them the birth certificate? Didn't Arizona pass that?
No, it was introduced, and the House passed it, I think, and the Senate didn't pass it. But you can know there's a phony here because Representative Posey in Florida, U.S. Congressman, Republican, introduced legislation that all presidential candidates as of 2012 must show that their natural-born status to be qualified. About 8 other Republicans joined in, but no Democrats. Now, why did no Democrats join in? Because they know he's a fraud. They know he's a phony. If I may give a pitch here, our website is ObamaCrimes.com, OBAMACRIMES.com, .com, ObamaCrimes.com. Right now, we need some help. We need some money. We're going to raise some money because we want to advertise this march since we have the date. We want as many people in this country to be aware of this. I believe people in this country do not know about this. I think the majority of people don't know, and if they did know, we could have 10 million people in Washington because this is such an outrage. You know, you might differ on different policies or Republican ideas, Democrat ideas. This crosses, like I'm a Democrat, but this crosses everything. This crosses the line completely.
Well, if they can get away with this, the sky's the limit.
Well, I do this. I say the most important thing we have is what? Is the U.S. Constitution. There's nothing more important than the Constitution, and the 308 million people in the country deserve to know the truth. Our forefathers need us to fight for this, and the men and women who have served valiantly in our wars over the years, 1.6 million died defending our Constitution. Another 1.6 million have been injured. And how about the millions of others who haven't, who have served our nation and are still serving our nation, which they shouldn't be over in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they are doing to defend this Constitution, which Obama does not treat. Obama thinks it's trash. Obama's out for this New World Order, and the New World Order will not help us. So I need everyone to join with us, spread the word. Such an honor to be on your show again, Alex. ObamaCrimes.com. Help us. And as soon as the date comes out, I'm going to be back on your show. And we're going to make sure that this is the largest march in Washington, D.C. history because there's nothing more important than the U.S. Constitution.
And if we bring Obama down, his government health care, all of it will also be reversed. Phil Berg, look forward to talking to you as the march nears. God bless you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You bet. There goes Phil Berg.